My name is Beverley Strutt. Yeah, it is. And I'm not saying reverend because I'm not allowed to yet. But it's coming, you all. It's coming, and it's coming soon. I needed to get that one out. That was something I wanted to birth through this last year and going into the next. Anyway, I am a practitioner here at New Vision Center, and today I get to come up and share with you. And it's just been an incredible year here. So much to do, so much that we have been through, so much wonderment. And it's just this place that we all get to call home. Anyway, so I am going to be speaking about releasing, recycling, and reknowing. And before we begin with that, you know I always want to start with something a little funny. So let's talk about letting go. And it starts with this man named Jack. And it's not Jack Saba, but it is a man named Jack. And he is walking along, he's hiking, and he's near the edge of a cliff. And he stumbles, falls over the edge into this canyon. Fortunately for him, there's a branch. He grabs onto it, he's holding onto it, and he's like, whew, goodness. He looks down, thousands of feet down into that canyon. He's like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? So he starts shouting for help, shouting, help me, help me, help me. Anybody up there, listen to me. Please help me. I'm stuck. I can't do this. And he goes on and he goes on. Eventually he tires, and he's like, he's really losing this feeling that he could ever be saved. And then out of the blue, he hears Jack. And he goes, yes, 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 Jack, I'm here, I'm here. He goes, do you need some help? Yes, 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 please help me. Where are you? I can't see you. Where are you? He goes, I'm the Lord. I'm God. I'm everywhere. Jack goes, God? Like God? He goes, yes, Jack, like God. God, I'm everywhere. He goes, well, God, please help me. I promise if you help me, I'd be good. I'll stop sinning. I'll stop drinking that extra glass of wine. You know, I will honor you for the rest of my life. Please help me. He goes, all right, Jack, take it easy on the promises. Let's just get you out of here first, and then we'll see how it goes. So he says, now you have to just listen to me, do what I say, and you're going to be fine. Jack goes, I'll do anything. God, I'll do anything. He goes, all right, Jack, let go. What? He goes, just let go. Trust me. Just let go. Jack thinks about it for a minute, and he goes, anybody else up there? Anybody else that can help me? Please, please, please. Anybody else? There we go. Yeah, we're all a little bit resistant about letting go, aren't we? Anyway, but we're going to begin today with not the release, not the recycle, but the reknow. The reknowing. This is what it's all about. All that we're doing today, all that I'm going to be speaking about, is about getting back to knowing who we are and who we want to move forward as. What is it that we want to know? What is it that we want to do? What is it that we're willing to lay down? The fears, the unworthiness. Our book of the month by Thich Hahn has been about peace in every breath. And in that peace in every breath, we get back to the knowing of who we truly are. We get back to the knowing that we are these magnificent expressions of the divine. And the one wonderful thing about it all is that we don't ever have to do it alone. Just like Jack, he didn't have to do it alone. From the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes, to trust in the law of good is to constantly believe that we are surrounded by a power which can and will cast all fear from our minds, free us from all bondage, and set us safe and satisfied in a new order of living. A new order of living. So right now, as we're looking back over this past year, over this past decade, over the time that has gone so quickly, we see that there's been a trend. There's been a trend for us in the world to downsize. We've seen the little houses come about. We've seen us clearing out stuff. We want to get back to the basics, get back to the truth, get back to those little things that mean so much. You know, the big stuff seems to be all of our cars. We're going small, we're going sustainable. These are the ways that we want to do it. Marie Kondo. We all know who Marie Kondo is. She took us through the process of clearing out our closets. Yeah, I didn't do it. Did I want to? Sure. Did I think about it often? Did I do it? No. You know what it would have looked like? It would have been a whole pile of everything on the middle of the bedroom floor. It would have come a piece of art. It would have just stayed. Oh, I can use this. Oh, no, put it back. I would have found my way around it in the middle of the night when I get up and go to the restroom. Yeah, one extra step. I could just miss it. I wouldn't fall over it. That's fun. But you know what? So many people did it right. They dumped the stuff. They got it all up. It was absolutely beautiful. But no, I was in resistance. And you know who said it so well? You know the wonderful Ram Dass who passed just a week ago. You know, he had this way of just cutting straight through it. And he said it like this: a feeling of aversion or attachment towards something is your cue that there's work to be done. Really? Of course there's work to be done. A lot of work. But anyway, I let it go. So now my closet is still just my closet. I wander my way around it, and I know that I'll eventually get to it. One of the other trends that we noticed happening, especially over Christmas, was that we were trying to give gifts that are non-clutter. You know, everybody's got so much stuff. If we go out and we buy stuff and we buy little things, and yeah, you put it on your wall. I even have a friend that has a re-gift wall. He puts it right there, knowing that it probably belongs to somebody else much better than her. And so she just puts it on there, and it's honored and loved, and when the appropriate time comes, whoop, it finds its new home. But what I've seen is a trend in us doing things more like a membership to something, a class, experientials. I'm big on the experiential one. Let's go skiing. That's mine, and I am, yeah. Scott's birthday, Scott's Christmas. Let's go skiing. He doesn't enjoy it that much, but I do. It's an experiential. Somebody's going to experience it. We're going to love it. So experientials are really good. Oh, I love the consumables. Those are always good. And it doesn't always have to be chocolate and cookies. Reverend Leslie says it really does. Well, I just did one of my favorites I did this year was a pizza dough with pizza fixings, a bottle of Nouveau Beaujolais, and of course there was some small what do you call those things? Like a little sponge cake candy cookie thing in there. And it was just absolutely wonderful because I know that everything is going to be used. No more clutter. And then, of course, we always give the gift of time. Those are the things that are really, really wonderful. Go wash my car for me. I love it. Cook me dinner. Love it even more. You know, we go and we give our time in so many ways. Even that moment where you just stop and listen to somebody. They just want to share a moment of their day. And you just stop. These are the gifts that we give day in and day out. And we focus ourselves around Christmas and we forget that we're giving these gifts all the time. Lean in deeper. Give a little bit more. This is a way to walk out the new year. You know, there's another thing that was that we would do on Boxing Day. Now, I don't know what your story is about Boxing Day because I researched it on the internet and it was nothing I was told. There was not the story I got told when I was growing up. The story I got told about Boxing Day must have come from the Elizabethan time or maybe even earlier. You know, there was a time when there was no recycling. Pretty much there was no waste management. You'd toss it out the window, boop, Liquid, solid, anything you wanted, it just went out the window. Well, Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, the Aristocats would have opened all, and I said crats there, not cats. I get that mixed up often because that's my favorite movie. So the Aristocrats, they would, you see, I got stuck. The aristocrats would take their boxes, open up their wonderful gifts, enjoy it, and then the following day after Christmas, Boxing Day, they would pack stuff into it that they no longer needed, no longer wanted. Remember all these words, need, want, stuff they wanted to get rid of, stuff that no longer served them. They put it all in these boxes and literally toss them out their windows. Yeah. Can you imagine if there were weights in there? That would have been an interesting one to catch, you know? So that's how they would do it. Now think about it. We do that still. We recycle our boxes, even from the grocery store. We recycle our boxes. We can do it on Christmas as well. Pack up those goodies that we no longer want, take them off to, you know, the Goodwill, Salvation Army, wherever it is, where we can recycle that. Can you imagine if we did this with our spiritual stuff as well? You know, all of our gifts that come to us packaged in a box. They were created in a box. Could it be a box of love? Could it be a box of forgiveness? A box of compassion? A box of kindness? A box of imagination? How often has somebody given you something physical and you've gone, I wonder why they were thinking about me with this gift? What were they thinking? Why did they want me to have this? And if we gave ourselves a little extra time, we might look at what was the box it came in, not the physical box, but the box of emotion, of love, of sensitivity that the thought behind that gift was created in. And even if it's not physical, even if it is that moment of time, if we step back and we go, what box did that come in? See the box. And then use that box to release something that is inside that needs to be let go of. It's not that hard, but it does take some time. It takes time not only to see, acknowledge, and take it a little deeper, but now we got to do some work. What is it that I can use that box for? What is it that I no longer need? What is it that no longer serves me? What can I recycle in my own self? What is going to release that place where I can allow inner peace to come in now? What can I put in that box and release it? I like the forgiveness box. It's always a really easy one to work with. It's a great place to start. The gratitude box. That's also a great one. Can you think of something that you would put in a gratitude box and release right now, right in this very moment? What about imagination? How can I imagine something differently? It doesn't have to be this way. Take that box, pack it up, and let it go. Because you know, if we don't do that, we've also seen TV shows about that, about hoarding. Physically hoarding is a situation that is very taxing. It creates a prison within our physical world. It creates a bondage. Well, so does the inner stuff. So if we are not letting go and we're not releasing and we're not allowing that place to come in, we're creating our own prisons. This is something we want to let go of. We want to open that space so that we can move from that place of hoarding, that place of being imprisoned, that place of a bondage, and open it up. And what do we have from there? We have peace. We have inner peace. We create a beautiful way to move forward, a way to have a different situation in our lives. And you know what? As we look through the past year and the past decade, and we celebrate all of those wonderful, magnificent moments, all of those times, those months, those parties, we see all these joyful things. And sometimes we don't look at the little things that we're still holding on to. This is a wonderful time to scrape it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, look at it, let it go, because, you know, we want to move forward. We want to move forward into a new year, a new decade, a new way of being. Dr. Ernest Holmes says it like this: as you learn to release all of your burdens to the right action of God, you will find that everything falls into its proper place. Isn't that the truth? Not only does it fall into its proper place, it allows for other things to come in to fill that place so beautifully. He goes on to say, you let your problems slip away from you, realizing that a power greater than you are and a presence that is within you is ready, willing, and able to guide you in all ways. Then peace, security, and fulfillment come with ease, and there is a sense of joy and accomplishment. So now that we're there where we are, we've let everything go, we're allowing a new way of being, we're releasing ourselves from prison and bondage, we get to re-know who we are, we get to reclaim that which we want to be. You know, in the biblical times, there was a tradition that if somebody got out of prison or had been in bondage, that they would be given a white stone. They would carry this white stone with them, and it would be a representation and significance that they knew that they were free of all that they had done, all that had been. And it was also people around that would see it, would go, all right, they know that they could move forward now, doing whatever it is that they choose to do. There's a reference to the white stone in the Bible in Revelations. It is written, and I will give a white stone, and on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. It was believed that once you had moved forward, released, and reconnected with the divine, that you would receive a new name. And this name would be on the stone. It was a new nature for yourself, a freedom from bondage. And when people had overcome, when they were set free from bondage, this is when the stone was given to them. It was very important, the name that people got. And we see in the Bible, too, how names change. You know, we saw Abram go to Abraham. We saw Saul go to Paul. We saw Jacob go to Israel, and Simon to Peter. These were all because of what the name represents, the quality of the name, the importance of the name. So when we surrender to the inner spirit and we're promised a new name, it refers to a new and higher realization of the I am. But in order to do so, there has to be a little change in consciousness. A willingness to look back, a willingness to let go, and desire to claim that which we want to be. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we each had a white stone? A white stone that we could take and write on it what it is, who it is, a name that we would like to walk forward into. I tell you what, why don't we do this? Take a deep breath in. Feel yourself relax back into your chair. Take a moment. Take a breath. Allow yourself to just feel into the year or even into the decade that has passed. Do a little scan and see how that feels. And now I want you to imagine cupping your hands. And as you cup your hands, there is a white stone sitting in your hands. You can feel the weight of it. Move it around in your hand and you can feel the texture. Is it smooth? Is it rough? Does it have a matte finish or a shine? Allow that stone just to be with you in your hands. And as you look upon it, you see it as a wonderful sense of freedom. And as you cradle this stone, allow the Spirit within you to bring forth a name for this coming year. It could be a quality of God. It could be the name of a title, like author, poet, writer, singer, engineer, CPA. And allow that name to fill you up. And as you look at the stone with that new name in your heart, see how it begins to etch itself into the stone. It carves this beautiful name deep into the stone. It allows the light within the stone to start to shimmer and shine through this name. And the light begins to infuse you, know you. Know that this is the truth of who you can be, because you already are. Cradle that stone in your hands, and allow the imagination of it to stay in your heart as we anchor it in prayer. So in this moment and in this time and in this knowingness, I know that there is a divine release that is coming forth for each and every person. There is a way of letting go that feels so easy. Allowing a newness, an inner peace to fill you up, to bring forth a newness as you walk your path this coming year. That it is filled with love and joy, wonderment, celebration. That it is filled with wisdom, the wisdom in the knowingness that we are all one, that we are at peace. And as we are at peace, so we walk our paths that have been laid clear for us. Knowing that Spirit has been listening deeply to our inner hearts, our inner souls, to the intentions that we have set, to the desires we have spoken, and all we hear is yes. Yes, my beloveds, yes. I see you. I hear you. I agree with you. And I honor your intentions with love. And together we say, and so it is.